will be divine love at first sight. We hear of love at first sight, right? So we will today hear the sweet story of divine love at first sight. We will dive into this sweet Leela, sweet pastime of the first meeting between Lord Ram and Hanumanji. Okay, and Lord Lakshmana. Okay, so before we begin, we will just sing Jai Radha Madhav and then we will get started. Jai Radha Madhava Kundra Vihari Ganga Madhava Kundra Vihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Sajanandana Yashodanandana Sajanandana Yamuna Tiravanthari Yamuna Tiravanthari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya 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 Gauranika 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 Jaya Gauranika Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Once again, thank you everyone for joining us. Today also happens to be Gudi Padwa, a very auspicious day. New Year in many parts of India. In Maharashtra, it is called Gudi Padwa. In South India, Ugadi. So we welcome as well. And just in a few days, we are going to have Ram Navami, the auspicious appearance day. So our topic for today is this exciting, mystical first meeting between Lord Ram and Hanuman. Now, we will not get into the entire story of Ramayana, but our focus is mainly just this first meeting. But before we get started, it's worth noting many times we approach spiritual wisdom with some expectation that, oh, what will I get out of it? By applying this wisdom, will I become efficient? Can I get 5 hours of work done in 3 hours? If yes, then yes, why not? The spiritual wisdom is worth it. Or will I get freed from all negativity if I take to spiritual wisdom? If yes, then why not? Now, certainly these benefits they do come as side products. As side benefits, we do get them. But this is not the main intended benefit that the scriptures are promising us. The main benefit we can get from spiritual wisdom and these beautiful stories or leelas, the main benefit we can get out of them is we grow in our appreciation for the Lord and His pure devotees. And the process of devotion, which culminates in developing pure love for God. So, yes, today we will dive into the sweet, ecstatic um, event from Ramayana by knowing which, hearing about this event, our love and appreciation for the Lord can grow. And just close. Ashik, could we close this? So, after Ravan kidnapped Mother Sita, at which place did this happen? Panchavati, yes, which is in modern day Maharashtra, near Nasik. So, the word Nasik itself comes from a place where Shurpanakha's nose was cut. So, and Panchavati is, that's where Panchavati is, and that's where Ravan had kidnapped Mother Sita. Lord Ram and Lakshman, they were then in search of Mother Sita. And as they walking, they came down to Kishkinda. So on the way, they met a personality called Kaband, who gave them some valuable direction forward. southward. And throughout Ramayana, we will see that any sages that Lord Ram, Lakshman, Mother Sita made, hmm, or after Mother Sita's abduction, only Lord Ram and Lakshman, whoever they met, everyone pointed them towards south. Please go down south. Why? Because Lord Ram had a purpose in south. Hmm. Whose kingdom existed? Which evil king's kingdom existed in south? Ravana's. And yeah, one important purpose of Lord Ram's descent into this world was vanquishing Ravan along with all the demonic forces. So one personality Lord Ram and Lakshman met in their search for Mother Sita was Kabandh. Kabandh directed them to first go and meet Shabri, an ascetic lady, a very devoted lady. And after meeting Shabri, then form an alliance with Sugriv, one of the Vanaras. So Lord Ram and Lakshman, they come to Shabri, they meet Shabri. Oh, what a wonderful meeting that is. But we don't have time to focus on that today. So after meeting Shabri, Shabri gives them further directions toward Rishyamukh mountain. In fact, near just by the foot of Rishyamukh mountain, there was a beautiful lake called Pampa Sarovar. And Shabri's ashram was somewhere close to this Pampa Sarovar. So after meeting Shabri, Lord Ram and Lakshman walked in the directions he had given. And as Lord Ram and Lakshman were walking, just try to imagine this magnificent scene. Lord Ram, who is God himself, walking on this earth, along with Lord Lakshman, who is also Vishnu Tattva, who is also God. God taking a servant form. So Lord Ram and Lakshman are walking in the guise of they were wearing the clothes of ascetics, of forest dwellers, of sages living in the forest. They had matted hair, they wore clothes made of tree bark, and so on. But at the same time, they carried their bows and arrows. They were they looked mighty. From every angle, they looked like great princes. But it's just that their clothes looked like those of ascetics. Their clothes, their hairstyle. But in every way, they looked so strong, so well built. It's not that they became fat in the forest or got belly fat. They were strong, well built, and they are walking toward Rishyamukh mountain. On Rishyamukh mountain was living Sugriv. He was living in fear of his own brother, who was after his life. His own brother, elder brother, what was his name? Bali. Yes. Bali was very intent upon exterminating Sugriv because of some misunderstanding. But Vali had a curse. He couldn't step on that mountain. If he would step on that mountain, he would immediately die. So Sugriv naturally took shelter on that mountain. Nowhere else could he go and hide because wherever he tried going, Vali was after him. Vali was so filled with vengeance. Now, while living on that mountain, Vali still figured out a way to trouble Sugriv. Vali, he was a very powerful, mighty Vanar. He could fly in the air. So he was so expert, so dexterous in doing everything, and very mighty as well. He had, in fact, in the past, he had even vanquished Ravan. He had overpowered Ravan. So Vali, while flying in the air to visit different oceans for his daily ablutions, he would visit all the oceans for his daily ablutions, chanting some mantras. So while flying through the airways, uh, he would make sure to locate where Sugriv is. He would come down, give a very hard kick to Sugriv, and then go flying back up. Sugriv, he had no place to hide even on that mountain. Wherever he tried, whichever different location he tried, Vali managed to spot him and kick him hard. So Sugriv, he was so broken down. Uh, he had lost full confidence. So now, but one fine day, Sugriv was expecting the kick because Vali was a very punctual man. So Sugriv was expecting the kick at that particular time of the day. And he even saw Vali in the sky. But he was expecting the kick. Whatever maneuvers he would try, Vali would manage to. Even if Sugriv moved a little bit here and there, Vali would manage to jump there and kick him and fly back without touching the mountain because he had that curse upon him. So, but this particular day, Sugriv was expecting the kick. But then he's saying, what's happening? Where is Vali? Then he just looked up. He felt Vali's light touch. And then he saw Vali is hanging upside down. There is another mightier Vanar holding Vali. Hanumanji had come. Hanumanji ki jai. Hanumanji had come to the side of Sugriv to give him support. On whose orders? On the sun god's orders, Vivaswan, Surya Dev. Vivaswan, Surya Dev, was the guru of Hanumanji. And at the end of the tutelage, Hanumanji very sincerely offered Guru Dakshina to Surya Dev. Please, how can I serve you? Please tell me, give me some service. I'll do anything for you to express my gratitude. Then Surya Dev told him that I have a son, Sugriv. He is completely tormented. He's being tormented by his own brother. Please go to his side and help him, serve him, become his minister. And Hanumanji then he took on that role. Actually, Hanumanji was superior to Sugriv in every way, spiritually, by physical strength, by intellect, sharpness. In every way, he was superior to Sugriv. But because it was his guru's instruction, he had offered that Guru Dakshina to Suryadev, he humbly played that role as a servant, as a minister of Sugriv. So Hanumanji, when Hanumanji came into Sugriv's life, this Vali's kicking stopped. So Vali couldn't kick. So now Vali was hanging upside down. Hanumanji was holding him. And then Hanumanji even scared him that I'll touch you to the ground. As Hanumanji was lowering Vali, almost about to touch the ground, Hanumanji did not intend to do that, but he was threatening him. So Vali said, please, please don't, what have I done to you? Please stop it. I have no enmity with you. And Hanumanji gave him an ultimatum. If you again do it, no, what will happen to you? And then Vali, he promised to save his life. But he was such an egoistic man that right after promising, he regretted. How could I take a humble position in front of someone? So then Hanumanji let him go and then he flew back. While flying back, he gave a menacing look to Hanumanji. Sure, so anyways, there is another incident that happens after this. Once Bali does manage to catch Hanumanji alone somewhere outside Rishabh, Hanumanji had gone to meditate. But we won't get into that. There's another very enchanting combat between Bali and Hanumanji. But now our focus is the first meeting of Lord Ram. So now, as Lord Ram and Lakshmana were on the Rishabh mountain, there are five Vanars living. Sugriv, then Nal, Neel, and then there's one more Vanar, Taru. Some sources say Janvar, but prominent, the most prominent sources say Taru. There was one Vanar called Taru who lived there on the mountain. They were all assisting Sugriv. And the best one among them, the most intelligent, most powerful, the most wise one was Hanumanji. and he was serving Sugriv. Now, one of these three other Vanars, Nal, Neel, Taru, one of them, they spotted Lord Ram and Lakshman toward the mountain. And he quickly ran towards Sugriv to tell him these two strong, well-built personalities with mighty bows, they are coming toward the Rishabh mountain. Um, I, I sense some danger. And Sugriv, he himself had a look. When he saw Lord Ram and Lakshman, his initial uh, instinct told him, oh, maybe they've been sent by Vali. Because Vali cannot himself step onto this mountain, he has sent these two mighty warriors to vanquish me, to kill me. So Sugriv was filled with fear and apprehension. What will happen to me? If they manage to catch me, I have no hope. They are so powerful. In front of them, I have no hope. So he was filled with fear and apprehension. And four of them were conversing. Uh, in great nervousness, they were conversing. What shall we do? Which direction shall we run? So as they were conversing, they heard the fifth voice. There is no fear on this mountain. And this is the first entry of Hanumanji in Ramayana. There is no fear on this mountain. And then steps in Hanuman. So of course, these other stories like catching of Vali, which we shared, and then even Hanumanji jumping toward the sun, they are described a little later in Ramayana. But Hanumanji's actual entry in the text of Ramayana in Kishkinda comes with this statement, a hope-giving statement. There is no fear on this mountain. And then Hanumanji came and uh, he consoled Sugriv. What is the cause of your fear? Then Sugriv. First, Hanumanji just reminded him of the general facts. Don't worry, Vali cannot step on this mountain. Remember the curse of Matang Rishi to Vali. And plus, I am here with you. Yeah, I'll do anything to serve you. So don't worry, Vali cannot touch you. But then, until this point, Hanumanji hadn't seen the apparent danger coming in the form of two human beings. Hanumanji hadn't yet noticed that. So then Sugriv told him, oh, I'm aware of all that, but look at these two new personalities, this new danger coming toward us. Look at these two powerful warriors coming toward our mountain. Look at their mighty arms and the bows they are carrying. So, from all angles, they look like warriors, but they are dressed like ascetics. So, I can see this contradiction in their personality. Just by seeing this external contradiction in their personality, even their thought process must be controversial. I'm sure they must have been employed by Vali to come and kill me. And in front of them, I seem to have no hope. So then Hanumanji, he followed Sugriv's gaze. Wherever Sugriv was pointing, he also had a look. Then to have a closer look, he went near the edge of the cliff and then he made some observations. He made quick mental notes. He came back and he shared his observation with Sugriv. And from this very point, Hanumanji had begun to feel some attraction toward these two personalities. So this is divine love at first sight. So Hanumanji came and told Sugriv, from the first look at these two personalities, as far as I can see, they look like two oceans of compassion. Dharma or virtue is oozing out of every pore of their body. Their mighty arms and their strong bows don't seem to be engaged in some sadistic acts of causing pain to others or in satisfying some other uh, sadists' whims, but their mighty arms seem to be the shelter and protection of innocent living entities. So, as far as I can see, as far as I saw, they seem to be in a disturbed state of mind. I saw their eyes darting in all directions as if searching for something valuable that they have lost. Who were Lord Ram and Lakshman searching for? For the same. Yes. Can you imagine their state? Their eyes darting in all directions. Now, dear devotees, I take a quick pause here from the Leela, from the storyline, and one philosophical aspect to discuss here. How can somebody like this, you know, who is searching for something and apparently has no clue where that valuable thing they are searching for is lost, how can somebody like this be God? Why do you guys call Ram as God? How do we understand this? So, in this context, it is worth noting that God, many people think that God cannot have a form. Hmm? Because form means a limited personality. Right? So is this is often a great confusion among the minds of spiritual seekers. Is God a person, an individual with individual traits, or is God some impersonal, amorphous, undefined force, all-pervading force? This is a doubt that many spiritual seekers have. How do we understand this? To say that God is a person like you and me, that's like putting limitation on God. We are limited beings ultimately. But to say that now, to go to the other extreme and say that God cannot have a form, God cannot be a person, don't you think that's also a limitation on God? God cannot be a person. That's also a limitation on God. How can you are a person, I'm a person, our parents are or were persons, their parents were persons. How can the supreme origin of everyone not be a person, not have any personal traits, any individual traits? So to say that God cannot be a person is also a limitation on God. Then what is the understanding uh, given by the Vedic literatures? The Vedic literatures inform us the Vedic scriptures give us the understanding that God is best on both. While being an all pervading, supremely powerful entity, he is yet a person as well. A loving and a lovable, the most beautiful person with whom we can have ecstatic, loving relationships. And at the same time, he is not limited. So, by having a personal, most beautiful, most enchanting form, God is also all pervading and all powerful and all knowing. So that's the complete understanding that the Vedic scriptures gives. God is best of both. So now, then what does God do with his personal existence? God engages in activities of enjoyment. Our activities in this world, we run around in this world. Why? To earn some money, get a plate of food in front of us, to get some food, clothing, shelter. But God does not have all these needs. Hmm? So does that mean God is just sleeping somewhere, snoring, relaxing and snoring? No. God is engaged in dynamic activities of loving. Hmm? God is engaged in dynamic activities which expand his own joy as well as his devotees' joy. And these activities are called Leela. Hmm? They are not activities like our activities, which are just running around to get some career, make some ends meet. Hmm? So God's wonderful activities are called Leela. So God, when God engages in leelas, uh, God often puts aside his God. So, and he just enters, he plays a role, and uh, yeah, the activities he performs, say for example, Lord Krishna and his loving relationship with Mother Yashoda. What is that pastime where Mother Yashoda ties Lord Krishna? What is it called? Damodar Leela, yes. So in Leelas like these, God puts aside his godhood and just fully dives into exchanges of ultimate love with his devotees. And so these activities of the Lord, they are facilitated by one energy of God called Yog Maya. Yog Maya is that energy of God which makes all arrangements for God to just enjoy his leelas and expand his own joy as well as his devotees' joy. And everyone who is a part of God's leelas, who even hears these leelas, derives so much joy. So that is the understanding of God that Vedic literatures gives. A charming personality engaged in enchanting activities, which make him very endearing. So God is not just some person sitting on a throne giving orders here and there, or pushing some buttons somewhere at a cosmic level and making some events happen. He has much more to do than just some boring activity. He is engaged in dynamic activities which are called leelas. So time and again, God descends in this world. 5,000 years ago, he descended as Lord Krishna. Many more thousands of years ago before that, he descended as Lord Ram. Now Lord Ram is engaged in this wonderful searching for his own wife, Mother Sita. So now Hanumanji, he comes and gives hope to Sugriv by speaking these words that these two personalities don't look like any sadistic persons coming to harm you. But then Sugriv, he again says, I definitely see merit in your words, oh Hanuman, but I cannot rely on intuition because my life is at stake. Listen, Hanuman, I want you to do one thing for me. Please use your guise changing ability and take the disguise of an ascetic, of an old sannyasi, and go and meet them and strike a conversation with them. Try to find out who they are, what is their mission, who is their master. Use your expertise in analyzing human psychology to find out what their mission is, what their motive is, what their thought process is. And because nobody doubts a sannyasi, an ascetic, I'm sure they will reveal their hearts to you and they will give some details to you. And if at all you sense that they are uh, allies of Vali who have come to harm me, just give me some indications. And right then, I'll start running away in the other direction. They will start escaping. And as you converse with them, uh, try to change their mind to make them favorable toward me. Put into their ears the message of my goodness. And if at all Vali has made them inimical toward me. So Hanumanji nods his head very carefully. He hears Sugriv and he agrees, okay, I'll do as you say. And with a subtle smile on his face, Hanumanji then stands, he folds his hands, closes his eyes, murmurs some incantations, and there, in front of everyone, in front of all the other four Vanas, was standing an old sannyasi with a begging bowl in one hand and a walking stick here. And then Next moment, they see this sannyasi going down the cliff to meet these two human beings who are coming toward the mountain. Now, just one second. Now, Lord Ram and Lakshman, as they were walking toward Rishabh mountain, Lakshmanji, he was asking some questions to Lord Ram. My Lord, what does this word vanar mean? Vanar, by definition, the word is a rhetorical question. Vanar, are you a human? It's a rhetorical question. So Lord Lakshman was asking Lord Ram, what does this mean? Lord Ram had a certain smile on his face. You'll understand when we meet them. And then saying this, Lord Ram walked a little in the front and Lord Ram stopped. He stopped on his back and he was amazed, seeing something unusual. And Lord Lakshman soon followed up. He followed and he also came. And both Lord Ram and Lakshman, they were watching in amazement something unusual. There in front of them, coming toward them, was a sannyasi, an old sannyasi, with a begging bowl in one hand and a walking stick in the other. And Lord Ram, he whispered to Lakshman, what is a sannyasi doing here in the forest? In the middle of the forest. How can, which sannyasi can expect to get any alms in charity in a thick forest like this? So, and as Lord Ram and Lakshman were analyzing Hanumanji, Hanumanji too was analyzing them. Just imagine, dear devotees, this wonderful scene. The Supreme Lord and his pure devotee cross analyzing each other, expressing marvel at the incongruity they were observing. What was the incongruity that Hanumanji was observing, Lord Ram and Lakshman? He felt deep attraction toward them. Who are these two personalities? They look so attractive, charming. Hanumanji noticed that all trees, as these two human beings, very attractive looking human beings, are walking toward him, Hanumanji, in the guise of that sannyasi, he is observing that trees and plants, they are bowing down as if offering a fruit. Who is not attracted to the Lord? In this world, uh, a young woman may be attracted to men, or a handsome man may be attractive to uh, women. But a dog is not attracted to a beautiful lady. And neither is a bitch attracted to some handsome man. But everyone is attracted to the Lord. His beauty is absolute. He is all attractive. He is absolutely attractive. The attraction living entities feel toward the Lord is not on the relative platform. It is on the absolute platform. Even when Krishna and Balram would walk through the forest of Vrindavan, trees, plants would bow down to them, offering them fruits. All peacocks, deer, cows, for everyone, Krishna was so dear. So now Hanumanji is seeing that trees, plants, they are bowing down to these two personalities. Occasionally, some deer and other forest animals, they were coming and gently nuzzling, uh, nosy like this, touching the Lord and going as if the Lord is their cub. With so much affection, they were coming and touching the Lord. Hanumanji was amazed seeing this. And he was likewise, he was also amazed seeing that, oh, who are they? Are they sage like warriors or are they warrior like sages? So he's amazed seeing this. So both the Lord and his pure devotee are cross analyzing each other, marveling at the incongruity. Now, as some time ago, a few minutes ago, we were describing how when the Lord performs these leelas, most enchanting activities. He, which is more fun, to be all knowing and then to know everything, that, oh, I know he is Hanuman, or to put aside that all knowing nature and enter the Leela, get absorbed in it, and marveling at the newer truths that are revealed. There is more fun in the second scenario, right? So the Lord puts aside his all knowing nature when he performs his Leelas, and that's what he's doing here. He's marveling, looking at this sannyasi. And then, uh, as this cross analysis is going on, the Lord analyzing his pure devotee and the pure devotee analyzing his master, his Lord. Hanumanji's eyes briefly meet Lord Ram's eyes. And as soon as their eyes meet, Hanumanji starts quaking, trembling in ecstasy, not in fear. It was an ethereal experience, as if every bone, every limb was melting in ecstasy. His eyes were flooded with tears. His heart was filled with great love, bubbling with love. And then finally he steadied himself, and then he went ahead. He started the conversation. He extended his hand, and um, and he started speaking to Lord Ram and Lakshman. I am a sannyasi, uh, and I live in this forest. And whoever walks on this forest path, I come and ask them. I ask them for alms. May I know who are you? May I know your identity? What are your names? And where do you come from? And Lord Ram, he looked at him with curious eyes, searching in the depths of Hanumanji. And then Lord Ram asked one intriguing question to Hanumanji, which Hanumanji was flabbergasted when he heard. Lord Ram asked him, if you are a sannyasi, what is this necklace of diamond doing around your neck? With was the most gorgeous necklace one could have ever seen, with a precious diamond in it. So, yeah, how could a beggar be wearing such a necklace with a diamond in it? So, Hanumanji, he was surprised now. Huh? Oh, are you sure? Oh, you could really see my necklace? And then he looked around, he asked Lord Lakshman, oh, can you see my necklace? Lord Lakshman said, no, I just see uh, a necklace of wooden beads. Then Hanumanji realized, his memory flashed back. He walked down the memory lane and he remembered. So, just I'll quickly mention this story. In the past, Hanumanji, when he was a small toddler, he once saw the sun rising and he thought it's a fruit. And he jumped toward the sun to eat it like a fruit. Hanumanji was so powerful, he could have knocked off the sun from its orbit, from its position. So, seeing this impending danger, the demigods, they were under panic. And Indra, he came there and he threw his Vajra, his powerful, mighty weapon, toward Hanumanji, and which hit him on his Hanu. So, and then Hanumanji fell. I'm just discussing the story very quickly. Hanumanji fell into a mountain cave, and then the demigods again they were perturbed by another situation. All the wind in the universe stopped. Why? Because Pavan, yes. Pavan, who is the father of Hanumanji, the wind god, he stopped the supply of all wind, all air in the universe. And then all the demigods, they looked toward Lord Brahma for a solution. Lord Brahma, he knew the solution is in that cave. So as Hanumanji was falling, Pavan Dev, he intercepted the free fall of Hanumanji. He held him and then he took him into one particular cave. And there, then all the demigods came and they rather revived Hanumanji. Lord Brahma, with his magical touch, he revived Hanumanji. Then all demigods started blessing him. I bless you from immunity from all water. I bless you from immunity from fire. Then Lord Brahma said, you'll live as long as I live. So many blessings Hanumanji was getting. And then finally, at the end of this blessing session, Lord Brahma came and garlanded Hanumanji with this necklace studded with the most magnificent diamond. And Lord Brahma told him, nobody will be able to see this necklace around your neck, not even your parents, Kesari and Anjana. Vanar Raj Kesari and Anjana, his mother. Not even they will be able to see. The moment you come across somebody who is able to see this necklace around your neck, know him to be your eternal master. At that very moment, you should surrender your life to him for eternity and give him your heart fully. And Hanumanji, now recalling this, now he had finally, he had come across his eternal master. And then Hanumanji, he told Lord Ram, all my life I have been waiting for this moment. My mother was correct. She told me, I don't have to go searching for my master. My master will come to me. And then as he was saying this, his guise as an old sannyasi faded away. And there in front of Lord Ram and Lakshman was standing a well-built Vanara with bulging muscles and perfectly chiseled body. And as Lord Ram and Lakshman saw Hanumanji, there was a smile on their face. We were looking for Vanaras. Here we have found one. And Hanumanji, right there, he bent and placed his head at the feet of Lord Ram. And then we have 10 minutes left. I'm just evaluating two options, whether to further describe the conversation between Lord Ram and Hanumanji, or there is another amazing, in connection with the same story, how when Hanumanji takes Lord Ram and Lakshman to Sugriv, how Lord Ram deals with Sugriv so lovingly, and that whole episode is just so amazing. Okay, I'll go for the second one. The first one I'll describe briefly. Okay, so Lord Ram, Lakshman, Hanumanji, they have their intros. Lord Lakshman, he describes the story of how they came from Ayodhya, they are princes from Ayodhya, and so on. And then Hanumanji introduces himself and an assistant of Sugriv. And there is one subtler nuance associated with how Lord Ram perceives it when Hanumanji introduces himself as a servant of Sugriv. Lord Ram steps back a little. Are you really my eternal servant, or do you identify yourself as a servant of Sugriv? So Lord Ram shows one divine upsetness, divine narazgi toward Hanumanji. I won't get into that much. So then, yeah, Hanumanji tells a little bit about Sugriv. Sugriv is under a lot of distress. His own brother Vali has kidnapped his wife and he has banished him from the kingdom, and he's intent upon killing Sugriv. So, and then Hanumanji, he, he speaks these very pleasing words. Hanumanji says, usually a patient has to go to a doctor. Isn't that what we see around? But sometimes when the patient is too sick, the doctor has to go to meet the patient. So Hanumanji says, oh Lord, Sugriv is in such a distressed condition. He's such a patient that you may have to come to meet him, O Lord. Please come with me. I will take you. And then Hanumanji takes a big form and he, he carries Lord Ram and Lakshman on each of his shoulders. And Lord Ram and Lakshman are soon perched atop Hanumanji's two mighty shoulders. And then Hanumanji very quickly scales up the mountain. And while scaling up the mountain, he is sharing more about Sugriv with Lord Ram and Lakshman. And occasionally, when some intriguing parts of the story come up about Sugriv's life, Hanumanji even stops. And soon they reach the top of the mountain where Sugriv and other Vanaras they are living. And then Hanumanji he requests Lord Ram and Lakshman to wait outside, and then he goes inside the cave to inform Sugriv, call Sugriv. And as Hanumanji goes inside, he again reverts his form back into the form of that old sannyasi. And anyone guess why he must have done that? There's a very nice, sensitive reason involved here. Why would Hanumanji again take the form of that sannyasi to go and meet Sugriv? Any guess? Huh? For assurance. What kind of assurance? Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. Yeah. So yeah, pretty much correct. So Hanumanji, knowing Sugriv's disturbed state of mind, his insecure state of mind, he did not want Sugriv to again go and get immersed in depression and fear and apprehension. Hey, Hanuman, I told you to take a disguise and you are coming like this. Did you follow my instructions properly? Hanumanji did not want Sugriv to go through all these emotions. So he thought, okay, well, when I go to meet him, just so that he gets the confidence that I have fully followed his instruction, I'll take this one. So he went inside again as a sannyasi. And then Sugriv, while coming out, then Hanumanji briefed him about, oh, who are these two personalities? And then Sugriv, okay, he felt happy, a little relieved that, okay, they are not Vali's allies. They are princes from the great Ikshvaku dynasty, Ayodhya. So, uh, so, so now Sugriv and Hanumanji, they both come out with a nice silver plate, nice items for worship and welcome. And Sugriv, surprisingly, takes the form of a human being as he comes in. And now Lord Ram and Lakshman, they see this odd duo coming out of the cave. One was obviously that same old sannyasi they had seen earlier, and the other one, and they identified, okay, he is Hanuman. And the other one, who was coming in a human form, obviously had to be Sugriv. Then, in this connection, there's a nice lesson shared. By the way, dear devotees, everything I'm speaking is from this amazing series called Ramayana, the Game of Life by Srivas Prabhu. I would highly recommend everyone to read it. It will be on display outside after the program. If anyone wants, you may take it from the temple. Some of us had even done a course under Srivas Prabhu, like what I did here. Yes. Now, Sugriv, he put aside that plate and in a very formal way, corporate world, people go and shake hands. That Sugriv came and he extended his hand in front of Lord Ram. First, extending his hand, he said, it is a great honor that two princes from the Ikshvaku dynasty want to make friends with a monkey like me. Despite knowing that I am a monkey, if you still want to extend a hand of friendship, then please accept my hand. And Lord Ram, very ended 2-3 minutes. Lord Ram he took Sugriv's hand, took hands with Sugriv. And as soon as Sugriv felt the touch of Lord Ram, some divine chills began to pass through his body. was an ethereal experience. So much love he could feel emanating from Lord Ram. And then what Lord Ram did the next moment, Sugriv was totally unprepared for. Lord Ram gently pulled Sugriv and then he hugged him. And in a loving embrace, he held him for a few moments. Sugriv's heart was melting. And Sugriv was thinking, I have only dealt with so much hatred in my life. My own brother has dealt with me with so much hatred. But here's a stranger I'm meeting for the first time. And from him, I'm experiencing so much love I've never experienced before. True love, Sugriv concluded, goes beyond just blood relationships. Then Lord Ram, he pulled away from the embrace and then he held Sugriv at an arm's length and he just stared into Sugriv's eyes with compassion. Initially, Sugriv couldn't meet the eyes of Lord Ram, but finally, when his eyes met Lord Ram's, he could see in Lord Ram's eyes two oceans of compassion. And the story of Ram further continues. In this same story, again, there are some amazing details of how Hanumanji shows his expertise in dealings in cultural behavior. But we are out of time now. So now the next part of our program will be we will have Kirtan as soon as the altar opens. We'll do Aartis, we'll sing the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And at 6:30, after the Aartis are over, we will have dinner prasad. So, Jai Shri Shri Radha Govinda Vallabh ki Jai. Shri Gauranga ki Jai. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maiya ki Jai. Thank you, dear devotees, for joining us. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Please come forward. Everyone, please come forward. Amazing.